Hello and welcome to week number 5 of the Injustice 2 Path to Pro recap, where each week we're going to take a look at the top 4 players of each tournament, analyse their gameplay, discuss their characters, and go over some of the more significant highlights. This time round, Vilmar would return once again to get another shot at the all-important first place, but the rest of our top 4 would be new faces to the series. Cheap Eddie and Belial from Russia and Riza from France would step up to the plate. Belial would debut in the Path to Pro and fight Vilmar for the first semi-final. Belial saw great success in the CIS Pro League during the Mortal Kombat X days and would select Catwoman for this particular matchup. Game number 1 ended in a great decision by Vilmar during the clash. He would spend sufficient meter to do tremendous damage to Belial, and a fast jump in to meet him in the air would take the final hit he needed to go up 1 game. Game 2 was also close, but Belial gets tagged by the final hit of back 1-2 up 3. This sent him far enough away that Vilmar could go to town with Keep Away. An air shot to knock down into guaranteed meter burn rifle took game number 2. This encouraged a character change in game 3, where Belial would go into Atrocitus instead. This was certainly a good pick, as Belial dishes out a complete mauling in the corner. Even though Vilmar fought his way out, it wasn't enough compared to the health that Belial had left. We would go into game number 4. In the 4th game, Vilmar had a much better start. The full screen game worked out much better for Vilmar as well, and in the final moments, Belial calls for Dexter right as the Deadshot rifle starts up, and the flurry of bullets that followed moved Vilmar into his first grand finals. Riza was a very successful Mortal Kombat player in the later stages, and Cheap Eddie had his share of Mortal Kombat success as well, but how would they fare in a new game like Injustice 2? Riza would lock in Darkseid and Cheap Eddie went with Aquaman. The first game involved many projectile trades which would steadily take both players to the second health bar. Cheap Eddie reverses momentum with corner repositioning, but a good read with a boom tube forced a clash. After that, Darkseid's minion makes the advantage safer, and an air stomp finishes things off. Cheap Eddie makes a fantastic comeback in game number 2, establishing dangerous corner pressure. However, after the first life bar, it was Riza's turn to bring things back. And once again, the Darkseid airborne mix-up of jump or stomp worked in the favour of Riza, who was now up 2-0. In game 3, Cheap Eddie had another great start, but this was short-lived as Riza once again answers back with massive damage behind him. Cheap Eddie almost closes things out with a meter burn trident rush, but a clutch push block to deny the meter build reset Riza back to neutral. From here, mix-ups on top of mix-ups would remain unclashable, and Riza took the set 3-0, moving into grand finals to face Vilmar. Another Russian showdown would take place for the 3rd place playoff, where Belial took on Cheap Eddie. Although Belial stuck with Atrocitus for this set, Cheap Eddie selected Black Adam instead. The final result of this set would be 3-1 to Belial. In game number 4, a superb start from Cheap Eddie would be snatched away by the comeback potential of Atrocitus when he has trait activated. After the clash, an amazing counterpoke with meter burn back 3 did immense damage to Cheap Eddie, and the final play would be a read on the air escape that Belial chased down with Bloodlift. Belial ended week 5 with a 3rd place placing. Vilmar was in big trouble with the first game of Grand Finals against Riza, but he makes a superb comeback in the corner. He trip guards Darkseid's stomp, resulting in a full combo due to the corner positioning, and he keeps things as unclashable as possible to steal the first game. However, in the next few games, Riza would fight back big time. Game number 2 saw how Darkseid can not only advance versus Deadshot with teleports and stomps, but how Darkseid can also contest at range due to the Omega Beam causing a knockdown, and the minion serving as a projectile as well. Because of this, Riza took the next 2 games very convincingly. In the final match, Riza turned up the dial even further when it comes to Darkseid mix-ups. Vilmar had an extremely hard time blocking correctly, and the health would snowball bit by bit. Vilmar would attempt to air escape the meter burn stomp combos, which left him with no meter to trade successfully. Darkseid's meterless projectiles just did more damage than his. Unfortunately, the air tech simply cost too much meter for Deadshot, who would trade negatively all the way to the end of the set. Riza would be your week 5 champion. Now week 5 is over, we steadily approach our halfway mark in week 6. If you think you have what it takes to enter yourself, visit play.eslgaming.com/injustice. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.